We're back.
Nice. Welcome back.
Woohoo! It's been a few months, hasn't it been?
Oh no, what has happened?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe I am back. I'm not certain.
Yep, I can hear you now.
Well,
We have a whole
hello.
new
Yeah, so everyone watching, there's a whole new thing happening behind the scenes, and it's brand new to all of us. So just join us for this ride. Pretend like you've never seen this before, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to make it work. So a lot of cool things are happening in the universe. Tomorrow is a big day for all. Let's start there. Really good positive note. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. specifically. Very excited for the transition. Very excited for both the president and the vice president. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got friends on my Facebook page like posting Annie singing tomorrow, and I'm really here for every meme, everything. I'm here for Joe Biden crying. I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of Kamala Harris's family, like losing their minds on Twitter. Like every member of her extended family from all over the world is in DC right now. And it is the most amazing thing to watch.
I'm excited.
Yeah, super fun.
I also, just a quick note, not to be too political, but it's a new year, but some things still apply here and everywhere you go. For all of us, please wear your masks when you leave your house, wash your hands, and use plenty of hand sanitizer. I will step off of my soapbox now.
It shouldn't even be political, but yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
you know, and
so-
I heard rumor has it that there's going to be a federal mask mandate. So I'm here for that too.
Listen, whatever it takes to get people to wear their masks when they're in public, so we all don't get sick. I'll be fine with it.
Yeah, I'm excited to just potentially get back to a new normal. That's it. Like it should have never been this hard. We're going to get there though. We all knew this was going to be a crazy 4 years. So moving on.
Speaking of things that really shouldn't have been that hard though, we always have a topic before the show really starts. And, you know, there's just a lot of things happening in our ecosystem. And I thought maybe our friend Brian could share just an experience that we're all kind of going through right now as investors in the Midwest tech ecosystem and how that affects everyone.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pull Lexi and provide context. Actually, usually I start talking without context, and Candace has been helping me to start to give context to people before I just start, talking. So a little bit of first big context. This is the behind the scenes segment. So right now the show hasn't actually started yet. We're just kind of talking about topical issues in venture or whatever comes to our mind before we start the actual pitch competition. So I've been saying a little bit on Twitter lately. I'm shocked at how much training I'm doing and helping I'm doing and with other venture capitalists in our space. Sometimes it's training them on how to reduce the amount of bias they have. Sometimes it's making sure like you're asking everyone the same questions, right? So let's not ask women founders, what if you get pregnant? Because you're probably not asking male founders, what if you choose to have a baby in the next, couple of years or not, right? So try to be consistent in how you're dealing with different founders. One of the things that we see, particularly with Black founders, is venture capitalists who are not just biased, but even racist, will take a hard line and they will dig and dig and dig and keep someone in diligence for an extended period of time and try to find even the smallest issue, because you can't say, oh, we're not going to invest in them because they're African American. Like that's not acceptable in any environment, right? And it certainly wouldn't be acceptable to their limited partners. So you have to try to find something if the company is good. That in itself is a problem. But then to try to find that thing, be wrong about it, and then tell other investors about that thing to try to convince other people not to invest in that business because you're so biased that you don't want anyone to invest in a black company, that's a completely different level of inappropriate.
Yeah. So this topic comes up because one of our portfolio companies was passed over, and they didn't find out why until today when they were in diligence with another organization, and they asked us about an issue that they had found out about, and that issue involved a bit of a, and this is, can I say it? No, I probably shouldn't. All right.
Oh, no, I get to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, that issue involved a portion of the diligence that was false. How about that? Had they asked the founder about this particular item, it would have been solved immediately. There are a few things that you can say about Black people that are overtly racist. And there are just a few items that we are always shunned for. And many times we are guilty or unqualified until proven innocent or qualified. And that's what's happened to this company. And this story is being spread amongst other firms, and we had to make a correction today. We had to let another firm know that their co-investment partners were biased and potentially racist. And that's why Lightship Capital matters. It matters that we are here as investors to call out the crap. It just cannot stand anymore where we're brought into the funnel and we can never make it to investment because people do not believe that we are good enough. That's crap. It can't happen anymore. It just absolutely cannot happen anymore. And thank goodness this other group came to us and asked, because they're looking for a reason to invest, not a reason to not invest.
Yeah, they're doing the good work. They're doing the good work, and they're open to learning more from us about how to handle this the right way and what questions they should be asking. You know, I would say to them, but even to others, when you get negative information, one, ask how it was gathered, ask why it was gathered. Also ask yourself, do I just automatically believe the investor they're telling me or the founder? And then why am I choosing that? Because the assumption here was the investor must be right or must be fair or must be good. And this wasn't even the founder, by the way. This is a member of the founder's team. So it's not even like the founder we're talking about. And that the other person could possibly be wrong. And I would like my fellow investors to sometimes think, okay, is the information coming to me coming from a biased place? And ask yourself that question first. Should they even have this information? How'd they gather it? Let me verify for myself before I then act on the information, particularly when it's Black founders, because many people have outright either bias or racism.
Yeah, I can say that I felt two very distinct emotions after I heard about this today. One was like just extreme sadness. Like, I'm over this feeling, especially the topic that was discussed. And I'm just angry. I'm angry that this has happened to a member of my portfolio and family, right? That's who they are to me. And to be treated that way, it just shows that the struggles that are happening at our nation's capital right now are happening for a reason. It's because there is an undercurrent, there is an underbelly, here in the United States of people who are still racist. And I hate this topic because I feel like we have a fund that's here to invest in an overlooked class, right? An overlooked class of companies. Someone just missed out. We will make great money, but some people think that this is just not a good opportunity. It's a fantastic opportunity. We aren't a group of criminals. We aren't a group of people who are uneducated or undereducated. The only thing that we are missing out on sometimes is the language that is being shared amongst their people. That's the only difference here. Lexi went to Brown. She's not undereducated. There's no issues here. Brian's best in class in AI in the world. Give me a break, right? And I never like to talk about myself, but I'm not too bad. So anywho, I'm sure we've gone over our behind the scenes portion of today's show.
We have, but just let's end it on a positive note. This is why I'm so excited that not only us, but our peers are also announcing such great funds. So Unseen was publicly debuted last week. I'm so excited for him. He's a good friend of the team. We've seen the announcement from Apple, which Brian could speak to probably better than I could about all of the work that they're doing, not only right now with the first 100 million, but in the future. There's just a lot of really good movement happening in the space. In terms of corporations getting involved, funds launching, a mix of both, and we're really excited about it.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. 2021 is still going to be a great year.
Just a smidge on that. I had a really good call with our new fund audit team. Every fund has to have audit and send it to their investors, and they work with hundreds of firms. He said that about 3 to 4 years ago, he went from having very few women led funds to they now have maybe 20 or 30 in their portfolio, and they add maybe 3 to 5 a year now every year. And he said that prior to last year, they didn't have any Black-led funds. They onboarded 5 last year, and they have 15 in the hopper for this year. So it is growing like exponentially, slowly, but it is growing exponentially.
That's what we need more of. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think normally this is when Marlon would kick us back off and play the theme music. I don't know if we're doing that, but if we are, Marlon, feel free to kick us off or let me know. If not, we can just get started.
That's fancy.
Oh, fancy and fast. And we're back. So officially, welcome back, everyone. And if you're new here, hello. We are the team at Lightship Capital, and you are watching Twitch Pitch. Twitch Pitch is the very first pitch competition here on Twitch, led by the very first VC team to be on Twitch. We're super excited for you all to be here once again with us. We are here for season 4, so welcome. If you're new, feel free to go to our YouTube channel, Lightship Capital, and you can binge watch every episode of the previous seasons. It's a good time, I promise. But let me remind everyone of the format and the rules. So every season, we see 12 companies pitch, 2 companies per episode. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday for a few weeks. In the episode, you will see every company give a 1-minute description on who they are as a founder, and then you'll see a 5-minute pitch video that's been pre-recorded from that team. After that, we invite the teams here live on the show to answer any questions that you may have or that we have. We're the judges, we'll each ask a question, and then we open it up to you, the audience. You guys feel free to type in, whether you're watching this on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live, whatever, type in your questions in the box below, and we'll make sure to get those answered from the team as we're watching. We also have a voting component to the show, and I'm really hoping that Marlon will tell me what the phone number is to vote this season, because I don't know what it is, but you'll be able to vote for your favorite companies as well throughout the episode. So that's us in a nutshell. Really excited to get the show going. As always, please stay tuned. We're really excited for you to meet these companies. And every season, the companies are brought to you by some incredible sponsors. We have a new sponsor this season, our lead sponsor, and we're so thankful and gracious to have them here, which is JP Morgan Chase & Company. JP Morgan, as you all know, is a global leader in financial services, offering solutions to the world's most important corporations, governments, and institutions in over 100 countries. The show is also brought to you by OTF, or the Ohio Third Frontier. The Ohio Third Frontier works with innovative startup companies across the state of Ohio, making Ohio the destination for technology entrepreneurs. This robust network of resources helps take advanced ideas and turn them into great tech businesses. This show is also brought to you by the Hillman Accelerator, the very first accelerator in the US designed for underrepresented founders here in the Midwest. And that accelerator just happens to be founded and directed by Candace on this side of my screen right here. So we're the team. Candace leads the troops. Candace Matthews-Bradkeen is the founder and executive director of the Hillman Accelerator. She's also a general partner and founder at Lightship Capital, our fund. She's an expert in all things Big Co, CPG, e-commerce, and brand building. On the other side, we have Brian here. Brian Bradkeen is also a GP at Lightship and co-founder of the fund, and he is our resident artificial intelligence, machine learning, and computer vision expert. I'm Lexi. I lead the investment team here, and I love anything and everything health tech related. Every episode, as a reminder, you will vote, we vote, and what we do is at the end of the season, we tally the companies that get the most votes, and the top 3 companies go on to the finale. The finale, each company does a little pitch, a little product demo, and then the winner of that episode receives the largest prize we've ever had on the show, the biggest prize. We are giving away $25,000 this season as a grant, no questions asked, no strings attached, no warrants. And we're super excited to do that. So that's us this season. We're really excited to get started. And with that said, let's bring on our very first contestant of season 4.
Ooh, nervous. Uh-oh.
There we go.
Evening.
Uh-oh, Houston.
Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about the Satori Food Project. Satori makes foods and beverages that protect and improve your mental health and wellness. We're headquartered in Milwaukee County Research Park, and we just launched our first products, hot cocoa and mocha latte K-Cups that reduce anxiety and reduce the side effects of anxiety medications. They're available right now on Amazon Prime, and they are in high demand. So before we dive into this investment opportunity, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Dr. Kwajo Owusu Ofori, and I'm a pharmaceutical scientist that studies how medicine interacts with the human body. I have about 20 years of experience, and I've been working on this product for about 7 years now. During this time, I won a fellowship with the Kauffman Foundation for Entrepreneurship and a grant with the National Science Foundation to work on this problem. And the problem we're going to talk about today is anxiety. Right now, if you have anxiety and are fortunate enough to have health insurance, it will take about 2 months for your doctor to find the right combination of medications, supplements, and psychotherapy to help you. And there's only a 40% chance that you'll respond to anything that they try, but there's a 100% chance that you'll have to deal with the side effects of prescription medications. This can leave psychiatrists and their patients feeling helpless. There are over 250 million people in the world that have been diagnosed by their doctor with an anxiety disorder. Who knows what the real numbers are? And this mental health pandemic is growing. We all know someone who is trying to manage an anxiety disorder. A parent, a sibling, a spouse, or maybe even you yourself. So we designed a solution, hot cocoa and mocha latte K-Cups that are filled with vitamins and minerals commonly recommended by board-certified psychiatrists to reduce anxiety and prevent the side effects of anxiety medications. They're delicious, they're affordable, and they're safe for the whole family. Chewy K-Cups, where we say, don't worry, Chewy happy. So let's get down to business. We sell our K-Cups at $15 per box. If each person diagnosed with an anxiety disorder drinks just 1 cup of Chewy per day, then the total addressable market is $130 billion a year. Our company plans to access this market through 4 key sales channels: Amazon Prime, psychiatry offices, retail, grocery, and pharmacy, and directly to the workplace break rooms through corporate wellness programs. And we are already seeing traction. We launched Chewy K-Cups just last June, and we already enjoy a 3x monthly growth rate. And within 2 months of launching, we became the #1 selling new hot cocoa listing on Amazon. And 1 out of every 10 buyers right now is a repeat customer. We are now raising $125,000 to continue building this business opportunity. We will use this money to buy larger quantities of inventory so that we can reduce our unit cost and increase our profit margins. We will also work to lower our customer acquisition cost and continue to build our beautiful brandscape. With this money, we can reach break-even points by as early as next summer. But this ask isn't just about raising money for business operations. There are millions of people that will benefit from switching their current cup of hot cocoa to our vitamin-enriched recipe. And we could use your help with getting the word out. Tell your friends, your family, and your coworkers to try a pod of positivity today. Remember, Chewy Mocha Latte and Chewy Hot Cocoa are already available on Amazon Prime. Oh, and one last thing before we wrap up. Because we've already raised almost $90,000 from friends, family, and venture capital funds, I'm proud to share the amazing fact that Satori Food Project is the first Black-owned, venture-backed pharmaceutical company in American history. Our business operation was expertly designed to be extremely scalable. We will have $15 million in annual revenue before we outgrow our current production capacity. So I hope that you will join Satori Food Project in our mission to commercialize functional foods that protect and improve mental health and wellness. Let's make history together. My contact information is at the bottom left-hand corner of this slide. Reach out to me anytime if you have any questions about anything that I've covered today. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.
Wow,
These
I love my
transitions.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
This is
so
awesome.
what do you
great work.
think?
What did we think? All right, so question. I've got lots of them. So tell me a little bit more about the functional food market and where you see it going.
Right. So there's functional foods where you have the clinical science behind them, and then you also have the overall better for you food where people are just looking for things that are better. I look at it as something like Shabani, where at first, I don't know if anybody remembers what yogurt used to be like before Shabani came along, the goop that was around. And then all of a sudden, at that time, I think Greek yogurt was only 4% of the market. Now it's like 94% of the market. I see a lot of these things happening with functional foods, fiber in cereal, protein in yogurt, just the whole nine. And so the way we look at ourselves is kind of innovating on the Ovaltine, like how Ovaltine has been around for decades. And instead of it just being for general health, it's for mental health. And then instead of it being in a large jar, it's in a K-Cup.
And, I've noticed there's kind of a new class of foods and supplements that do not require a prescription. Can you talk to me about that and kind of FDA claims, et cetera, and how that applies to your company?
Right, right. So with a lot of these, the science has done a lot on the vitamins themselves. And so with the foods that are out there that are starting to build up the health claims for them, what the FDA does is they regulate the claims that you have, and then they also regulate if you're out there and your product seems to harm people. So with our product, we're under regulation where if anybody reports that anything has happened to it, then we have to go ahead and say that we have to report that to the FDA, and we have a funnel and a portal for that. And then let's see what else was there. You're talking about how you feel like it's going to evolve, or yeah,
Yeah.
so with that, what's happening a lot is, especially I'm in the psychiatry market, where you're starting to look at lifestyle changes. And so a lot of the diseases now that we're suffering from are chronic diseases. And so with that, it's one of those things where they're looking for lifestyle changes in order to prevent or manage these chronic diseases. I look at something like Lucerna, which is a whole product line designed for people with diabetes. And then you have something where the gluten-free market has even become even more popular, where gluten-free first started out as something for celiac disease specifically. And then as people started to become more aware of it, it started to become more important to learn about your gut health and what you're eating and how that's affecting that. So did that answer the question at all, or?
It actually gave me another question, so I'm sorry.
Okay, sure, no problem. That's all good.
So you think that the anxiety or kind of like mental health vertical potentially is going to kind of like grow in this space? So potentially there could be more foods long term that you can consume to better your own mental health.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for us, the key thing that we're hanging our hat on is magnesium. A lot of people are looking towards magnesium supplements and ways to increase the magnesium in their bodies. Magnesium, there are like hundreds of different research papers out there linking that to mental health. And it's kind of being stripped away from food as we process it. So it's one of those things where we're going to have to start adding it back into our diets, and then, start to become more mentally healthy. I 100% believe that that's going to be the future of mental health, is looking at the lifestyle. What are you eating? What are you doing on your phone? How long are you on your phone? These things that we do every day that affect our mental health.
And so do you think that's why we have 284 million people with anxiety issues? Like part of that is diet related?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we're going off of, is that we're looking at diet. We know that things have been fast paced, and you could throw a rock and find an article online about how the cell phone is increasing anxiety, right? But I think with any technology that comes out, at least from what I've been studying, there's always this new anxiety and this anxiety that builds. People were saying the same thing about television and saying the same thing about radio when it came out. And it's funny where, like, I've looked at stuff back in the 1800s where people were talking about the anxiety of new technology. So I think it's something that's just always around. And this is our generation's interaction with that,
Awesome. I'll let someone else ask questions.
I have a question about the round and what you're raising. One of the things that we see from Black founders is big idea, big market, and sometimes I feel like they don't raise enough at each round compared to the traction they have and the quality of the product they have. So, are you sensitive to that? And then what was your theory there around the round side?
I think you're right, 100% right. So with the way the round went, I started this out just kind of building it on my own with the money that I was making from the 9-to-5 job. And then with the first key amount of money that came in, I had the choice to take the valuation at 625 or to continue trying to build it on the side. And so after speaking it over with my friends, my families and everything, we just said, look, let's take the valuation, let's go forward. And when we do our job with this, then we can actually, like you're saying, raise a seed round. So that's why we call this the pre-seed round, because this is proof of concept. Can we build the product? Can we make it? can we see some type of traction? And then after that, that'll be the data to say, okay, let's raise that $2 million round that you're going to need to get off the ground for any serious, I would say, food company like that. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Yeah. So this
Yeah,
round is closing up. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah.
and as a kind of
Yeah.
backdrop to that, if you win this whole thing, just close it.
Yeah, exactly.
Save the
Yeah.
dilution, take the non-dilutive grant, and then come back to That's
100%. I agree. Yeah.
that's all for me, Lexi.
Well, one thing that we think about a lot with our portfolio companies is not only the health of our bodies and our minds, but also the health of the planet. So I'm sure you've thought through this, but tell me about your thoughts about packaging and the cups themselves long term.
Right. I'm glad that you asked. Our cups are biodegradable. So we used a specific type of cup that is
Good
compostable. I know, right? Yeah. So that was something that we weren't going to compromise on. You can make a couple of cents more if we got a plastic cup, but I don't think that's the larger goal here. We want something that is, like you're saying, not going to hurt the environment. And so that's a key thing there. And also when it comes to our cocoa, my family's from Ghana, West Africa. And so that's one of the key things where like the cocoa that we get is coming from those cocoa farms where people are actually being paid fairly. And then that's another thing we didn't compromise on. So yeah, those two things are things that we definitely were just like, we don't care. And I know people would be like, well, you don't care about, yes, we care. Like, we don't care about the price of that on our end. We want to make sure that goes into the product and then we go forward from there.
Excellent. I don't see any direct questions in the chat. You and Candace had already addressed your relationship with the FDA, which was mentioned earlier, but I don't see any questions. So let's take this extra couple of moments. Doctor, if folks in the watching this wanted to go and purchase a little K-Cup, where can they find it?
Right. So you can find it on Amazon Prime if you type in Chui hot cocoa, but we are currently sold out. We sold out a couple of weeks ago. And so, yeah, we're stocking up more and we're trying to get back into it so we don't lose momentum. And so when we talk to people, they're like, oh, that's a good problem to have. And it's like, theoretically, yes, but it's like when you're actually trying to build something, you don't want to run out of stock. So so that's the main thing that we're dealing with now every day. I'm just like, trying to push production forward until we can get back into stock. So yeah, I feel bad because I know that we were getting ready to be on the show and I wanted to have, thousands of units of inventory there, and we are currently ran out. Yeah.
And that's okay. What we'll say is we have a few more weeks of this season. When you do get back, please let us know and we will announce it on the show and make sure that we tweet it out.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
And Kaleem on Twitch has a really good reminder. They just posted in the comments. If you go onto your Amazon page, click to get a reminder of when it's back in stock, and Amazon will let you know directly when you can purchase it again.
Ah, perfect. Thank you, Kaleem. That's awesome.
It's a good show, man. It's like a community, right? Not just us, but the community is looking for you to be successful as well.
I appreciate that. Yeah, this is great. I definitely looked through the shows that you have, and I'm like, this is a cool show. So I'm excited that y'all are on season 4 and it's growing, and keep going. This is going to be big. So for sure.
Yeah. Well, fantastic pitch. I mean, I think that you covered everything that an investor would want to know. In full transparency for everyone who's watching, I've actually seen you pitch one other time. It was like 5 minutes. It was like blazing fast. And so this was much more in depth. And it's really great to see you again.
Oh, absolutely. Same to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Brian, you want to say the thing?
Oh.
No, thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
What's so interesting is we're getting used to like all the transitions and stuff again. And, here we are having fun and trying to figure it all out. And that's all right. Like that.
That is all right. While we figure this out, Candace, let's hear some of your thoughts.
I'm willing to try like lots of products. And if I know that I don't have to go to my physician, I'm all about self-care and self-lab and like trying to figure it out myself before I actually go to my primary care physician. Because I think a lot of times, like, they'll just want to prescribe, they'll want to like actually give an actual prescription. And there are so many side effects. To the doctor's point, like, the side effects are a huge issue. And so if I can use something that I know is going to be natural and better for my body, I'm there for it. And I think, and you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, I think that folks from younger generations than mine are looking for that type of thing too. I think that that's the future, is that people will be using their resources online and trying something first to see if it works. And if it doesn't, then they'll go to their doctor. So I think that I think it's a big market. The fact that this is already online, he's selling it, it's selling out, gives me hope that this company has legs. It's not easy. It's not easy to do this. And he's making it look easy. He's just been doing it since June. He's got an entire thing on Amazon, and it's working. And in our prior conversation that I actually had with him, like, there are more products coming. So when he talked about Lucerna and the market that they're in, and then other, like, the gluten-free market, he's absolutely correct. Like, our mental health here in the United States is something that we're all trying to tackle. And more people are okay with talking about mental health. And so this is probably just one more thing that can destigmatize anxiety and mental health.
Brian?
Shall I go next? And Candace covered a lot of it, as always, but I'll just double down and say, it is very hard to get someone to take $1 out of their pocket and give it to you for anything, for any reason. And so to come up with a product, mid last year, and to be selling out of that product now is a test of a lot of things have to go right. There's a million decisions between that time and this time. And for you to get this kind of early traction means you made 95% of those decisions the right way. And he's a great founder. That tells you all you need to know about him and the product and the team and where it's going.
Yeah, I'd agree. Not much else to add, although I guess I will give my resident youth perspective that, Candace, you're absolutely correct. Everyone in my generation and the one, I'm on the cusp, Gen Z and millennials, we're always looking to remove traditional pharmaceuticals out of our lives. We are very mental health forward. Everyone's got a therapist and they're proud of it, myself included. And we're always looking for what's the healthiest, safest alternatives to more traditional medicine and treatment. And if this actually works the way I think it works, it's fantastic for those with anxiety disorders, even as a supplement to what they may already be taking to mitigate those side effects. That's huge for a lot of people. Humongous.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, the first one's down. This feels good.
Woo-hoo. And so that said, let's take a quick commercial break. Marlon probably hates me on the back end. We're going to see a quick commercial from one of my favorite portfolio companies, Haute Hijab.
How fun. Yeah, it's interesting when you switch things out and try new things. Like, sometimes they work the way you think they're going to the first time, and sometimes they don't. And that's all right.
That's all right.
It's all right. The fun thing is that I'm trying to talk through until we get this thing going. So, the fun thing is I think everybody can tell what we're going to talk about tomorrow at the team meeting.
Wow. So for those who are watching,
like we're a family. I'm not saying that.
Wow. For those of you watching, just a little precursor to what you're going to see. Haute Hijab is the very first American hijab brand based here in the States with some really incredibly innovative textiles, clips, and snaps to give really a luxurious luxury hijab experience for the everyday hijabi woman. It's fantastic. And they just released a sport collection, not this year, last year in 2020. And it's been really well received by the athletic community. And we'd like to showcase a little bit of that for you today. So while we're waiting on that, if you're ever curious, you can find them on hautehijab.com, spelled HAUTEHIJAB. Why was that so hard? .com. And you can buy everything from the everyday hijab to the athletic line or just something a little bit more formal or fashion forward too. The company is led by an incredible woman, Melanie Elturk, and we're really excited for everything she's built thus far.
Proud investors, very proud investors in the company.
That was not enough filler time?
Well, here's what I think. I think that Marlon Voice of God is probably backstage sweating a little bit. And if he needs like a few minutes to come out here and sweat with us, he's welcome to, because it's okay. He shut me down. I've been completely shut down.
Hey you, there's nothing you can't do, right?
I'm busy.
Of course you are. Can't change the game? Got 'em. Can't do more than you did yesterday? You can't be stronger? You can't be tougher? You can't do stretchy backwards stuff? You can't miss? Sorry. You can't beat your personal best? You can't do the coolest thing in this video? You come back even stronger. They tried to ban you? You don't sweat it, right?
I'm cool.
All right, ladies, go out there and get it, because we never settle for anything. So tell me I can't. I dare you.
My goodness, I absolutely love that commercial. And the last young lady in the video, Noor from Toledo, my hometown, she just announced that she's starting the first Muslim-focused accelerator in the country, which is amazing. She's launching it. I'm not certain what city, but she's launching it. She started a crowdfunding campaign that's going really well. And talk about something that's needed. And I'm really proud of that. Like, that's really, really cool.
That's so exciting. Oh, all kinds of good things happening. So that was great. Once again, that was Haute Hijab, one of our portfolio companies. Just wanted to showcase their new product lineup. Speaking of showcase, let's bring on our next contestant, the team from Cocina 54.
Hello, I am Cecilia, co-founder of Cocina 54. It is an undisputed fact that so our family would gather in the kitchen and we would make batches on batches of empanadas to save them in the freezer for the week. Convenience was a key player here. We soon realized that there are families all over who are seeking convenient snack options that still had better for you ingredients. There was an obvious gap in the market to fill with food that fits a busy lifestyle. From there, the idea of Cocina 54 was born. Once we officially started the company, we made sure to figure out a way to produce empanadas that still had fresh vegetables and a made from scratch recipe. Our heritage was our biggest inspiration in developing our unique flavors, and we married various ingredients together to craft an empanada that was authentic, better for you, and delicious. Our culture is shared in our packaging as well. The art you see on our empanada packages is a style called fileteado porteño. You would see this style painted all over the streets of Buenos Aires. The question we get the most often is, why the name Cocina 54? Cocina means kitchen in Spanish, and we actually named the company after the area code in Argentina, which is the number 54. Even from the beginning, we knew that we had to be. It was a simple tribute to our roots. The result of all of this is a tribute to where we came from and where we are today. We know consumers are looking for better for you products, but they are not willing to sacrifice taste or convenience. They want real foods that fit their busy lifestyle, and they also want bold international flavors. And empanadas are just that perfect. But let me give you some further validation, because we are not the only ones noticing this. Google Food Trends and DoorDash reported skyrocketing interest in empanadas, and grocery is finally catching up. And a year after we launched, Nestle and Brasivice also launched empanadas. So how are we different? Well, our empanadas are made from scratch with 100% fresh vegetables and antibiotic-free meats. They are also certified gluten-free, and we bring a heritage-inspired brand that shares an authentic story. Our empanadas are pre-baked, so all you have to do is microwave them, and they are ready to enjoy in less than 2 minutes. And what about our competition? Our velocity is higher than Sweet Earth and Brasivites, even when we only invested 2.6% on trade spend, proving that our tribe is stronger. We have a validated business model that is ready to scale. Today, we are in over 800 stores, and next year we are doubling the store count with exciting partnerships with nationwide retailers. We have a solid co-packer, a healthy profit margin, and last March, HuffPost named Cocina 54 as one of the best gluten-free frozen foods you can buy. So, what about our team? We have experienced founders and an amazing professional team behind us. I have over 15 years of experience in the CPG industry. I have been in sales and marketing roles in large corporations such as Nestle to small entrepreneurial settings such as Stubbs Barbecue. I know the playbook. Federico's financial expertise has allowed our company to break even while growing exponentially without raising capital. Consumers are demanding better for you products, and the frozen category is ripe for disruption. Cocina 54 delivers an innovative product that is authentic, better for you, and an experienced team with a proven track record. Please join us on this journey. Thank you.
Great job. How's it going?
Hello?
Yep. Now
We
you
can hear
sound
you
great.
now. Welcome.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me here. I'm excited to be here. Definitely thank you, Lightship Capital, for allowing a Latina to have a voice today. Definitely, you guys picked just like the right day before inauguration, I think. So we kind of all breathe like these winds of change. So thank you. Absolutely.
Good. Good to have you.
Candace, muted.
Okay, you're- I'll go first since I have questions. This is a category I'm a big fan of. Kenneth and I spend a lot of our winters in Miami, so we are very, very familiar with the product and the category. Question about, again, particularly in Miami, each group has a strong claim that their empanada is clearly the best, right? So tell me about cross-cultural empanada. Like, do you see customers that are from different backgrounds loving it just as much? Do you see African American customers loving it? Like all, tell me about, I know I do, but tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, when yes, Latin America empanadas are Latin America's favorite snack, but each country in Latin America has their own types of empanadas. So Argentinian empanadas, we start with beef being like our predominant classic empanada because we have a lot of cattle. If you go to Venezuela, or if you go like you have Mexico that are more sweet type of empanadas, or Venezuela and Colombia that they are fried and have more cheese. So definitely, I think there is like an amazing variety and diversity of the amount of empanadas. But we see actually our customer not being like the Hispanic customer, but like being truly a mainstream customer. When we have it on shelf for like 3 years now, and I have done my fair share of demos, and I can tell you that like we have seen like every like all sort of customers coming and trying the empanadas because what it attracts them it's the like it's like just think about a burrito, like who's eating burritos, like everyone is eating burritos. So I think that like these handheld items are more mainstream. The customer is looking for that convenience factor. They are baked, so they are a little bit better for you maybe that if they are fried. They are all made from scratch with fresh vegetables. That's the main difference for between our product and many other frozen businesses that just use like pre-blanched onions and pre-grilled chicken. If you look at the back of any frozen item, if you see grilled chicken, that means that they bought the chicken that was pre-grilled and then they add it into the product. And we just don't do that. We make them like just like we did at home with just really, really big kettles and a USDA facility. So we have seen an amazing amount of like customers that really gravitate towards this product because it's convenient, it's better for you, and it's something that is not a burrito. It's something new for them. It's bringing innovation into the frozen category.
And so your retail partners, people like I think I saw 7-Eleven, and others, when they say yes to you, when they say, you know what, we want to give this product a try, we're excited about it. What do you hear from them? What are they looking for? What are they trying to accomplish?
Yes, we have our main customers right now are HEB, we have Walmart, we have Central Market, Fred Meyer's, Wegmans, and like Target. It's coming up very soon, so we are pretty excited about those partnerships. But what they are looking for is like what the consumer is looking for, especially during like right now, like 2020, all of us, we have been at home all the time. We haven't been able to, we have to had to cook much more. We have kids, so we know how difficult it is to just be able to multitask, be able to just grab like a quick bite in between Zoom meetings. And so I think that this product has had an impressive growth last year because of the trial, that the customer was absolutely open to try something new because they were like at home a lot, and it's that convenience. So the retailer, it's looking for convenience, is looking for better for you, and is looking for an authentic story that resonates with their customers. So we work really well with HEB. We tell our story all the time of like we are like this is allowing us to share our heritage and to be proud of where we come from. And I think that story, the more that we can tell it, the more that resonates with the consumer and resonates with the retailer too.
Thank you so much.
What I was struck by was your usage of the word, like, this is authentic. We're a heritage brand. We're building from scratch. These are all built from scratch recipes. And that you kind of have a bold international flair. Like, all of those things really resonated to me as a person who likes to try different types of food, but also as a parent. Because, you know, when I was a kid, there was a lot of Pop-Tarts and Hot Pockets. Like, those were great, like, after school snacks, unfortunately, when my parents were like still at work and I was a latchkey kid. And yeah, I was really, really struck by that. So tell me, what does scaling up look like for you and your company?
Yes, so we have, and like you guys know, being a minority-owned business, it's always really hard to get funding. So since we started, we always had like a plan A, plan B. Plan A means like if we get funded, plan B means like we don't get funded. And so until like we have gone 3 years without any outside capital investment. And I'm proud, actually, we recorded this video last year when we didn't have the final numbers, and I'm proud to say that we didn't break even. We actually made a profit last year. So we have been able to, because like we have been enough in the business to know where to invest the capital, where it's going to return those sales and those growth. So right now we have like a handful of accounts, and we have built our team. Last year, we worked really hard on building our team. We are actually hiring next month someone that is going to be like our financial business partner, and he's going to be kind of like trying to help us like decide which new projects to go towards, really focusing on what the P&L of those projects is going to look like. There is like an exponential growth that we can still achieve in the accounts that we have and growing regionally with different partners. GoPuff, they are like super. We are actually launching with them next month too. And if it were for them, they were like, just let us, like, just, they want the product everywhere. And like we have like to do that, like you need to open so many warehouses, distributor warehouses, and that costs a lot of money. And so like all those opportunities, if we get the enough funding, we can chase those opportunities and really execute very fast. But as of right now, it will be like we can double the store count with what we have right now. And so we think that that's going to happen. We can double our sales. We have been doubling sales for the last 3 years, and we think we're going to double sales this year too. And from there, we have a few line extensions. We have been talking to our customers, and they want breakfast empanadas. They want more vegetarian version empanadas, and they love, like, it's America. Everyone needs to dip an empanada and put more sauces. And so we are bringing also some sauces and some salsas.
That's fantastic. To be able to get to 800 stores with no funding is pretty incredible, and also speaks to why we started our fund. People say to us all the time, like, well, where are you going to find these companies, and are they going to be ready? Well, they're more than ready, right? Like, they're more than ready for funding. They've done all the work. They've talked to their customers. And so, I mean, really, like, truly congratulations for everything that you've done so far. And I think that you're right. Double down on the thing that you're doing well, which is like making empanadas, and breakfast and vegetarian and kind of options are the absolute right way to go right now. So.
Yeah, one more thing regarding, like, not only are we just like focusing on we have, like, we grew to 800 stores, but like I think that when I always look at how fast are we growing in our existing accounts, and we have seen like 100, like we got a spins data and it showed 140% year-over-year growth in units, and the same store sales velocity is showing 30%. So we are seeing really traction where we already are, which is what really motivates us, and it shows that the product is there, and we really have a lot of potential to continue to grow on our geographic expansion.
Excellent. So I don't have any questions. They've answered everything. But Cecilia, for everyone in the chat who is literally salivating over how to get one of these empanadas, how can they grab one?
Absolutely. Well, if you are in Texas, you can get them at ATV, in the freezer aisle at ATV and Central Market. You can get them in New York, New Jersey, and the Northeast area at Wegmans. You can get them in the Pacific Northwest at Fred Meyer's. And you can get them in Colorado, Arizona, Arkansas, at Walmart. And then if not, you can buy them online on Amazon or on our own website.
Boom. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Great
Brian,
job.
you forgot your line. You forgot your line. What are you supposed to say?
Oh, now we're going to talk about you behind your back. Yeah. I have forgotten. We're warming up for the, this is a warm-up show. It's a warm-up show.
This is a warm-up show. Lexi is still undefeated in company selections for the show. Like, let's just start there. Just absolutely undefeated. Holy cow, Cecilia is the bomb. Tonight we saw two really incredible food companies. And I don't know, like there's nothing bad to say. I only see opportunities in these empanadas. I've tried Sweet Earth products. Some of them are, good. Some of them are okay, right? But I love to purchase things from companies that I know have a great mission and great values. And hearing this story makes me want to go out and buy some. And, if there's an opportunity for me to order some, that would be amazing if I can get them online. Yeah, absolutely. They sound delicious.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Candace and I don't eat meat. And I said to myself, Candace, maybe we should just buy one and just cut it in half and take one bite just to understand the product because it makes you want it. Her the way she sells it is really strong. This category is growing exponentially. Again, to her point, not just amongst minorities, but actually amongst everyone. Empanadas, tacos, they're all from different countries, but the Latin flavors is one of the fastest growing groups. So yeah, the sky's the limit for her. And the fact that she got to 800 locations without $1 of venture is a story you will rarely hear from anyone else. So it's just strongly impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that,
we're probably on some weird delay, so it doesn't matter. I was just going to say frozen is really growing, especially frozen better for you. We're seeing massive retailers, especially the Targets, Walmarts, Wegmans, and probably Kroger too of the world, demanding increasing items in the better for you frozen section, especially over the past 2 years.
So Lexi, I know that you've actually invested in a few food companies in your previous roles. So tell me a little bit about acquisitions in that space and what you've seen over the last 5 years or so.
It's very aisle specific. I will tell you this. There's a lot of movement happening in the acquisition space. However, you generally have to get to a very high revenue number before you become sexy. Also, the exit multiples tend to be fairly low.
And how low? Are we saying 2 to 4, or are we saying 5 to 7? What do you think?
1.5 to 3 is really what we're looking at. 3 on the higher end. And in terms of where you have to get to become sexy, you generally have to be around, it depends on the aisle, but generally 80 to 200 million in revenue.
Okay. Perfect. Gosh, that was fun. What a fun night.
We did it, guys.
Or not.
First episode of season 4. And so no, we did. I think we're on a delay. There was not an intentional silent pause. But we did it. Everyone who's watching, thank you so much. Thank you for sticking around. If you loved those companies, here's how you can vote for them in the competition. If you loved our first company, the Satori Food Project, you can text the number 1 to 203-408-6432. And once again, that's 203-408-6432. And that's for the Satori Food Project. If you'd like to vote for Cocina 54, that's texting the number 2 to 203-408-6432. Once again, 203-408-6432.
This is tough. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to send it in, but I still, yeah, that's tough. Yikes.
Want to take us, Alexa?
So thank you everyone for watching. Special shout outs in the comments to the team at Wilson Adaptive that are watching. We can't wait to see you later on this season. Special shout out to Mr. Alston in the comments. Hello, I do recognize that that's you. And everyone else who's been here, thank you for joining us tonight. Once again, we are the team at Lightship Capital. We are very happy that you're here with us. Say it again.
Kaleem, thanks for watching, Kaleem. That's all. I was just yelling over you. That's all. Go ahead.
Thank you again, everyone, for joining us for episode 1 of season 4 of Twitch Pitch, the very first pitch competition here on Twitch. Join us again on Thursday to see 2 more companies compete. We get to do it all over again, and we'll be excited to see you there. Same time, same place, 7 Eastern, right here on Twitch. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. If I could be completely honest, I feel.
Oh, we don't have to have it
behind the scenes
today.
No behind the scenes. Is that a no?
Oh, do you want to? Okay.
Please don't.
Well, listen, I think as a nation, we should all get a really good night's sleep tonight. Wake up early for our new beginning. So let's cut it short tonight. The sooner you go to bed tonight,
the sooner Biden will be elected tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this inauguration. Like, going to bed, there's just 1 sleep left. It is Christmas Eve, everybody. Let's just make this happen. So, all right. Good night.
Good night.